Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to learn about PostgreSQL, what it is and why we should use it. And by the end of the video, you will understand that why PostgreSQL is one of the most popular database in the world. So let's start. So let's first start with the definition. What is PostgreSQL? Well, it is called as Postgres also, which means an open source relational database management system. Now, why open source? Because it is freely available to all. And relational database management system means it stores the data in the form of table and maintain the relationship between different tables. It uses SQL, which is structured query language, to interact with data, also to ensure the accuracy, structure, and the consistency. In simple words, if I say that what is PostgreSQL, then PostgreSQL is a powerful open source database that stores structured data and support the advanced feature for complex application. Now, why it is so much famous? Well, it is famous because it is reliable, extensible, it is good in the performance, and due to its standard compliance. Now, taking up to the key features of PostgreSQL, so it is asked mostly and the most of the time in the interviews that what is ACID properties that are used in PostgreSQL. Well, PostgreSQL ensures that ACID properties must follow. What are these? Well, it stands for atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. Atomicity means that if the transaction is going on, in that particular case, either it is fully complete or it is fully rejected. What is consistency? Consistency means inside the database, the consistency or the type of data must be same. Isolation means if multiple transactions are occurring at a time, no two transactions will intersect or get to know about each other. Durability means that the data that is stored in the database should be durable. In case even if the server crashes, your database crashes, data should be there. It should not get deleted or anything should affect it. That means your data will always remain accurate even if the system fails. That is your durability, right? If I take the example, so if you are transferring money between two bank accounts and the system crashes, PostgreSQL ensures that the transaction is either fully done or fully rolled back. It is never half done, right? Now, talking about the second feature, which is strong support for data type. So your PostgreSQL support multiple data types. Few of them are integer, text, boolean, even JSON, JSONB, array, geolocation types, custom data types, all these, right? So you can store JSON data without needing a NoSQL database. Do you get it? For earlier, we uses the NoSQL database to store the JSON data, but here you can also store without using them, right? Now coming up to the next feature, which is extensibility. Now you can add the custom functions, new operator, user defined data types, even extensions like PostGIS for the maps. For example, if you are building a food delivery app and need the geolocation, PostGIS gives you advanced mapping capabilities, and this is available in the PostgreSQL. That's why. Now coming up to the most important feature, which is open source but enterprise grade, which means that it is totally free to all. But many big companies like Instagram, Spotify, Uber, Reddit, all that you use in your daily life uses this particular database for their management because it handles the high traffic and the massive data loads, right? Now, coming up to the next feature, which is strong concurrency, which is MVCC. Now, what is MVCC? Well, MVCC means multi-version concurrency control, which means that multiple user can read and write at the same time to the same database and there will be no heavy locking issue. That means it is very much reliable. Now coming up to the last, what is the example for it? That is e-commerce website with thousands of users checking out simultaneously. You will not feel any problem because it is maintaining the concurrency, right? Now, when you should use PostgreSQL? So the first use case is that when you need a complex but structured data. So if your database has a relationship like user, order, product, PostgreSQL is best for it. Now, application requiring high security and reliability, like banking apps, healthcare apps, government projects, all these requires large number of security and the reliability. And there your PostgreSQL performs the best. Now, analytical and reporting systems. PostgreSQL is best for the complex queries, aggregation, large report everywhere, right? And what is the fourth use case? That is when you need both SQL plus semi-structured data, right? If your project needs traditional tables plus JSON support, then PostgreSQL is perfect, right? So that's why. Now, coming up to the last, which is with PostGIS extension. I talked to you about the PostGIS in the extensibility topic, right? It is excellent for the maps, routing, delivery apps, real estate, everywhere. And last topic, which is why not to use and when not to use PostgreSQL. Well, when you need extremely simple apps, that means you are just working with 100 users, you don't need to work with a PostgreSQL. There you can use the SQLite, which is well enough for it, right? And when you need ultra high write speed with flexible schema, PostgreSQL do not support the flexible schema. So real-time data streaming, NoSQL, Mongo or Cassandra can be better, right? So you can use the MongoDB there. And when you work on mobile only or offline apps, SQLite fits the better, right? So this is the basic introduction about what is PostgreSQL, what are its feature, when to use it and when not, all these things, right? So make sure that you start your learning process by first revising these points and then coming up to the main core query writing and understanding that how PostgreSQL works, right? So this is all about today's video. Let's meet in the next video very soon. Till then, goodbye.